Welcome back. Today, we're going to cut through all the hype surrounding AI to find out what really matters: the return on investment. Everyone's talking about it, but who is actually making money from it? Let's find out.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the money. And wow, is there a lot of it? A recent Deloitte survey shows that a staggering 91% of organizations are planning to spend even more on AI this year. We're talking trillions of dollars being poured into what's basically a global AI gold rush.
But here's the kicker: the paradox that is just, rocking boardrooms everywhere. A major study from MIT looked at over 300 AI projects and found that an incredible 95% of them failed to deliver any return on investment. I mean, think about that. Not a low return, zero return. So right away, you've got this huge disconnect, right? Everyone is spending a fortune, but almost nobody is seeing that money come back. It's the central mystery we're going to unpack in this explainer. All right, let's get into it.
As it turns out, figuring out the actual value of AI isn't as simple as, say, buying a new piece of software. The road from spending all that cash to actually seeing a return, well, it's basically a minefield of hidden hurdles that a lot of companies just don't see coming.
So, what are we talking about here? Well, when you ask executives, they point to five big ones. Some of the benefits, like making your employees happier, are totally real, but they don't exactly fit on a spreadsheet. And then you get into the real technical nightmares, like different systems that can't talk to each other, or even worse, poor quality data that just poisons the AI models right from the start. And believe me, the costs go way, way beyond just buying the software. This thing called the total cost of ownership, for AI, it is an absolute beast. You've got to constantly maintain your data, you have to retrain your models all the time as the world changes, and you're paying huge salaries for specialized teams. And see that line of integration? Research shows that technical debt can just silently gobble up almost a third of the money you thought you were going to make.
Okay, now here's a really interesting kind of next-level concept that almost nobody talks about: unpriced risk exposure. Basically, most of the spreadsheets people use to calculate ROI completely leave out the massive new financial risks that AI brings to the table. Things like getting hit with a regulatory fine or the reputation damage from a biased algorithm. It creates this dangerously incomplete picture of a project's real value.
Okay, so with all these problems, you've got to be wondering, is anyone actually making money? And the answer is a big, resounding yes. But, and this is a big but, it's only in very specific, really well-managed areas. So let's check out the winners. Let's start with retail. The numbers here are just wow. According to NVIDIA's latest report, AI systems for loss prevention are delivering a 374% ROI over just 3 years. Or look at content automation. We're talking about generating product descriptions 40% faster. I mean, these aren't just fuzzy benefits. This is real, tangible money hitting the bottom line. And it gets even crazier when you look at legal and finance. For companies that have to process thousands and thousands of contracts, automating that review process can lead to an ROI of, get this, nearly 2,000%. That's not just making things a bit more efficient, that's completely changing the game for a core part of their business. And it's not just white-collar work. The power of AI is just as obvious in heavy industry. Things like predictive maintenance, where AI can actually tell you when a machine is about to break, deliver an average ROI of 235% in about 18 months. This is huge because it prevents these super expensive shutdowns and just optimizes the whole operation in a way that was literally impossible before. So the companies that are seeing these huge returns, they're not just getting lucky. And it's not about just buying more tech. They are running a completely different playbook than everyone else. All right, so here's the key takeaway. These high-performing companies, the ones we're calling AI ROI leaders, they all follow these 6 core practices. They don't just see AI as another IT project. They see it as a fundamental transformation of their entire business model. Ownership is at the very top with the CEO, and they make AI training a core skill for everybody, just like reading or writing. It's non-negotiable. And look, this isn't all just about some high-level grand strategy. It really comes down to daily execution. In fact, this McKinsey data shows that the top 3 things that actually make AI work are super practical: making the tech dead simple to use, having leaders at the top who are constantly championing it, and, having dedicated teams whose only job is to push it forward. So what all this means is that the new reality of AI forces us to look beyond a simple cost-benefit calculation. The companies that are actually winning are using a much more sophisticated way of thinking about value and how you even measure it.
Yeah, the top organizations, they get that you can't measure all AI with the same ruler. You've got generative AI, which creates content and gives you those quick wins, but then you have agentic AI, these autonomous systems that handle really complex stuff. That takes way longer to pay off, but it can totally redesign how you work. The smart play is to use those quick wins from generative AI to build momentum for the deeper changes that agentic AI can bring.
And that really brings us right to the heart of it. As this quote from NVIDIA puts it so perfectly, this isn't about just plugging in another piece of software. It is about fundamentally reimagining how your business even works.
Which brings us to a final and maybe a little provocative question. In an era where AI is literally reshaping entire industries, maybe the whole idea of return on investment is just too narrow. I mean, maybe the real success of AI isn't just measured in dollars and cents, but as assigned to your company's future, its ability to innovate, to be resilient, and to actually grow for the long haul. What do you think?